If you're over 60, every movement you make or don't make can have a major impact on your heart. With age, the way you exercise matters more than ever, and some of the most common exercises or habits you've been told are good for you could actually be doing more harm than good. I'm not here to alarm you, but to help you avoid 10 exercise mistakes that could silently be putting your heart at risk. These are mistakes that many older adults make unknowingly, thinking they're staying fit and healthy, only to discover they've been unintentionally overloading their heart. As a cardiologist, I've seen it happen time and time again. People walking into my clinic feeling fine, only to find out that certain exercises or habits have been putting a hidden strain on their heart. The truth is, your heart after 60 isn't the same as it was in your younger years. It needs care, awareness, and proper attention to avoid overexertion and stress. In this guide, I'll walk you through 10 common exercise mistakes that could be quietly damaging your heart, and, more importantly, offer smarter, safer alternatives designed specifically for your age and heart health. Let's dive in, because your heart deserves better, and it's never too late to start protecting it. Number 1. High-intensity interval training, HIIT, a silent threat to the aging heart. As we get older, there's often a desire to prove that we're still strong, still capable. We want to show ourselves, and sometimes others, that age is just a number. So, with the best of intentions, many seniors turn to high-intensity interval training, HIIT, thinking, if it works for younger people, it must be good for me too. But here's the truth. Your heart after 60 is not the same as the heart you had at 30 or even 50. What once felt like a great workout can now be a silent threat to your heart's health. HIIT involves explosive bursts of effort, things like jumping, sprinting, or fast-paced cycling, followed by brief rest periods. This forces your heart into rapid acceleration and then abrupt deceleration. For a younger person, this might seem effective, but for someone over 60, it can overwork the heart. With stiffer arteries, long-standing hypertension, or minor electrical irregularities, your heart doesn't handle this kind of stress well. It's like sending an engine that's tired into overdrive. Let me tell you about Robert, a 72-year-old retired school principal. Robert had always lived a healthy life, no smoking, a reasonable diet, and regular exercise. Wanting to stay active, he joined an online HIIT program designed for seniors. It seemed harmless, just 20 minutes a day of jumping jacks, squats, and short sprints in place. But within 3 weeks, Robert came into my clinic complaining of dizziness and occasional chest tightness. An EKG showed new-onset atrial fibrillation, a heart rhythm disorder that can lead to a stroke if untreated. His heart, already carrying the weight of time, couldn't handle the sudden spikes in demand from HIIT. The power of steady, consistent movement. Most seniors who choose HIIT do so out of love, for life, for independence, for the ability to walk freely or carry their grandkids. But love without knowledge can lead to harm. We need to train wisely, not just hard. Gentle, steady movement is your true ally. Instead of HIIT, a 30-minute walk in the park, slow, intentional Tai Chi, or light water aerobics might not get your heart pounding, but they nurture your cardiovascular system, reduce inflammation, and improve circulation. Perhaps most importantly, they don't shock your heart into panic. Robert switched to morning walks and Tai Chi 3 times a week. 6 months later, his heart rhythm stabilized without the need for long-term medication. That's the power of listening, not just to your doctor, but to your body. You don't have to push yourself to the limit to stay healthy. In fact, to keep your heart strong, you need to stop chasing intensity and start embracing consistency. 2. Core crunches and heavy lifting when strength training turns against your heart. Strength training has always been considered important for aging adults. It helps keep us strong, mobile, and independent as we grow older. But there's one key truth to remember. Not all strength training is safe for the aging heart, especially exercises like core crunches and heavy lifting. Every time you perform a sit-up, a crunch, or lift a heavy object, whether it's a barbell at the gym or a heavy laundry basket at home, you're not just working your muscles, you're also creating intense internal pressure. This pressure compresses your heart, affects your lungs, and leads to an immediate rise in blood pressure. For young, healthy individuals, the heart can manage this pressure surge quickly. But for those over 60, where arteries may be stiffer and plaque may be quietly building up, this surge can become a tipping point. I had a patient named Linda, a 68-year-old retired nurse. Linda was in excellent shape, or so it seemed. She followed a senior core challenge on YouTube, which included crunches and dumbbell lifts. She told me she was careful with her form and felt only slightly winded after each workout. However, one morning, during a set of crunches, Linda experienced sudden lightheadedness and shortness of breath. Her husband brought her to my clinic, where we discovered that the pressure from her core contractions, combined with breath holding during exertion, had caused temporary strain on her heart. The strain was enough to trigger transient strain on the left side of her heart, the part responsible for pumping oxygenated blood to the body. How to strengthen without strain. Strength training is essential, but it must be done with heart awareness. Instead of crunches, focus on gentle core engagement exercises like seated leg lifts or pelvic tilts. Use resistance bands instead of heavy weights. Always breathe through the movement, never hold your breath, and work with a trainer who understands aging physiology, not just aesthetics. Linda made those changes, and within weeks, she felt her energy return. She found strength in new ways, not by lifting more, but by lifting smarter. She still works out daily, but now focuses on slow, controlled movements that keep her heart calm and her body strong. Remember, your true strength lies in choosing what's safe and sustainable for your heart today, not just in lifting heavier or doing more. Lifting smarter is lifting stronger. 3. Exercising in extreme temperatures when the weather becomes your heart's silent enemy. As we age, we often forget that the environment we exercise in can be just as important as the exercise itself. The temperature outside can quietly turn a healthy walk into a dangerous event, especially for older adults. Both extreme heat and cold can have a serious impact on your heart, and it's essential to recognize the risks. In hot weather, the heart has to work overtime to keep the body cool. Blood vessels dilate, blood pressure lowers, and the heart works harder to pump blood and regulate temperature. This extra workload, combined with exercise, can cause irregular heart rhythms, strain, and in extreme cases, collapse. I had a patient named Arthur, a 74-year-old former firefighter, who was very disciplined about his morning walks. One summer morning, he went for his usual walk despite the heat. By the time he finished, he was feeling dizzy and nauseous. Later that day, he ended up in the emergency room showing signs of heat-related cardiac stress. His heart couldn't handle the extra strain from the temperature and the walk. How to stay safe in extreme weather. It's not about avoiding exercise, it's about being aware of your surroundings. Exercise in climate-controlled environments whenever possible, like walking indoors at the mall or on a treadmill. If you must go outside, walk early in the morning during the summer when the heat hasn't fully built up, or wait until mid-morning in the winter when temperatures stabilize. Dress in layers so you can adjust based on the temperature. Hydrate well before, during, and after activity, and listen to your body. Mild dizziness or a flushed face are signs that your heart is struggling. Arthur made a full recovery after his heat-related stress, but now he walks indoors at his local senior center gym where the temperature is always controlled at a comfortable 70 degrees Fahrenheit. His heart no longer has to fight the weather, and he's still getting his daily exercise, just in a safer, more sustainable way. 4. Jumping, rapid movements, and sudden direction changes, the hidden chaos inside an aging body. There's something undeniably uplifting about fast-paced movement. The music is upbeat, your blood is pumping, and you feel like you're reclaiming a piece of your youth. This is why many seniors are drawn to activities like dance aerobics, jumping jacks, stair sprints, or quick-change cardio routines. These exercises seem like a fun, energetic way to stay young and vibrant. But behind the sense of momentum lies a very real, very quiet danger. Rapid, jarring movements can throw an aging heart and body into chaos. What many people over 60 don't realize is that as we age, our nervous and cardiovascular systems no longer communicate as efficiently as they once did. Reflexes slow down, arterial flexibility decreases. The balance we took for granted at 40 is no longer automatic. So when you suddenly jump, twist, or pivot, your body doesn't just have to move, it has to recalculate, stabilize, and respond in real time. And that's a lot to ask of a heart that's been beating tirelessly for decades. Let me share a story about Doris, a 70-year-old former ballroom dance teacher who is still vibrant and active. Doris had joined a senior-friendly aerobics class at her local community center. The instructor was young and energetic, but the class included quick step changes, low jumps, and sequences requiring fast directional shifts. After class one morning, Doris felt her heart pounding, not the usual post-workout beat, but something erratic. That night, she woke up short of breath and with tightness in her chest. An EKG revealed premature atrial contractions, misfirings of the heart's upper chambers. While not life-threatening, it was a warning. The culprit wasn't effort alone, it was the unpredictability of sudden movements and high impact. The danger of unpredictability. As we age, our body becomes more vulnerable to disorganized signals. The heart needs rhythm, not randomness. Sudden demands on blood flow and oxygen delivery, triggered by jerky or explosive movements, create internal turbulence. Blood pressure can spike or drop erratically, causing the heart to race to keep up. Oxygen delivery may lag behind, leaving you feeling breathless or lightheaded. It's not just the heart that suffers, balance and coordination also decline with age. Quick turns or sudden landings can cause instability. A misstep can result in a fall, or worse, an episode of arrhythmia. Instead of pushing your body into erratic motion, choose exercises that support coordination, balance, and control. Tai Chi, water aerobics, or even simple stretching are excellent for maintaining cardiovascular health without the risk of injury or strain on your heart. These exercises may not be flashy, but they are deeply powerful because they move your body in ways that honor your heart, not challenge it unnecessarily. 5. Exercising too late at night, when good intentions disrupt the heart's deepest yielding. Many older adults find peace in the quiet hours of the evening. The world slows down, and it feels like the perfect time to squeeze in a walk or a light workout. After all, the intention is good. Stay active, keep the blood flowing, and end the day on a healthy note. But for the aging heart, even gentle exercise at night can come at a steep cost. After 60, your body's circadian rhythm, which regulates sleep, metabolism, and heart rate, becomes more sensitive. Physical exertion, even mild, raises your core temperature, increases cortisol levels, and activates adrenaline pathways. These are natural processes beneficial during the day, but harmful at night when your body needs to wind down. When you exercise late in the evening, you send a message to your brain and heart to stay alert, which is the opposite of what your heart needs. Evelyn, a 69-year-old woman, developed a nightly routine of yoga and 15-minute cycling sessions after dinner. However, after several weeks, she started waking up in the middle of the night with her heart pounding and drenched in sweat. Initially, she thought it was just anxiety or menopause, but after consulting with me, we discovered that her late-night exercise was overstimulating her sympathetic nervous system, which affects the body's ability to enter deep restorative sleep. The key to a healthy heart is not just exercise, it's timing. Exercise in the morning or early afternoon when your body is naturally more active. This supports your body's natural rhythms and helps you feel energized throughout the day. Evelyn adjusted her routine to early afternoon workouts and replaced her evening exercises with a warm bath and gentle stretching. Within weeks, her sleep improved, her blood pressure normalized, and she woke up feeling more energized than she had in years. Remember, the evening should be for rest, not exertion. Your heart needs deep restorative sleep to repair and heal, and this process can't happen if you're stimulating it with exercise too late at night. 6. The cost of doing nothing. Inactivity slowly steals your heart strength. The greatest threat to your heart often doesn't come from doing too much, it comes from doing too little. As we age, we naturally slow down. After retirement, the structure of our days changes. We sit more, move less, and what begins as a deserved rest can gradually turn into sedentary living. Inactivity might feel harmless, but over time, it becomes a dangerous weight pressing down on your heart. Let me tell you about Henry, a 76-year-old widower. After his wife passed away, he found himself sitting in front of the TV most of the day. At first, he didn't think much of it. He felt fine, but one day he came to see me and discovered he had early-stage heart failure. His heart muscle had weakened not because of a heart attack, but because it hadn't been used in months. The silent danger of sitting. The human heart is like any other muscle. It needs to be challenged gently and regularly. Without that challenge, it begins to weaken. Movement is not optional for a healthy heart. It's essential. And it doesn't have to be intense. Henry started with short walks to the mailbox, then to the end of the block. Within 6 months, he was walking a mile each morning, greeting neighbors he hadn't seen in years. His blood pressure improved and his heart became stronger because he started moving again. The good news is, you don't need to run marathons to keep your heart healthy. Small, consistent movements like stretching, walking, or light yoga can wake up your cardiovascular system and gradually rebuild your heart strength. Misusing gentle exercise, when therapeutic movement turns risky without the right guidance. Not all dangers to the heart come from overexertion or inactivity. Sometimes the risk hides in something that looks completely harmless: gentle exercise. Things like Tai Chi, stretching, yoga, and water aerobics are all low-impact, calming exercises often recommended for older adults. They're easy on the joints, promote flexibility, and are excellent for maintaining cardiovascular health. But here's the critical point that often gets overlooked. Even gentle exercise can be harmful if done improperly or without an understanding of your body's specific needs. Let me share a story about Lorraine, a 71-year-old retiree. Eager to maintain her strength and flexibility, she signed up for a senior yoga class at her local center. The instructor was young and well-meaning, but not experienced in working with older adults. The movements were slow, but they included positions that involved breath holding, extreme bending, and rapid transitions from standing to seated. After a few weeks, Lorraine started feeling lightheaded after class. One day, she almost fainted during a forward fold. She thought it was just dehydration or poor balance, but when she came to see me, we discovered that her blood pressure was fluctuating dramatically because of the postural shifts and breath holding. These movements were straining her cardiovascular system more than she realized. The hidden dangers of gentle movement. The aging cardiovascular system is extremely sensitive to changes in positioning, pressure, and oxygen delivery. Even something as seemingly innocent as holding your breath during a stretch can trigger a vagal response, causing a sudden drop in heart rate or blood pressure. Similarly, transitioning too quickly between poses can confuse the autonomic nervous system and lead to dizziness, palpitations, or even a fall. Lorraine didn't need to stop doing yoga. We adjusted her routine by focusing on breathing awareness, gentle transitions, and using support tools like blocks and chairs. Within weeks, her balance improved, her blood pressure stabilized, and the sessions felt truly restorative, not risky. How to safely practice gentle exercise. If you love gentle exercise like yoga or Tai Chi, it's important to practice them safely. Make sure your instructor understands aging physiology, encourages breath regulation, and works with you at a pace that allows you to stay fully present without pushing too hard. The goal of gentle exercise isn't to strain your heart, but to nourish it. So remember to move with care and always listen to your body. 8. The belief that I'm too old to change, when mindset becomes the biggest threat to your heart. Perhaps one of the most dangerous things that can happen is not overexertion or too little movement, but the belief that it's too late to make changes. Over the years, I've seen many patients who've given up on themselves without realizing it. They've accepted that age is the reason for their fatigue, their shortness of breath, or their occasional chest discomfort. They've internalized the idea that at their age, they can't improve, that this is just the way things are now. I want to challenge that belief. You are not too old to change. It's never too late to start moving more, eating better, or paying closer attention to your body. The mindset you carry is just as important as the actions you take. I remember a patient, James, who was 81 years old. A retired truck driver and grandfather of 6, James had lived a full life, but had started to feel worn out. He came to see me after his daughter urged him to get checked out. He wasn't in pain, but he was tired, sleeping poorly, and felt like he wasn't himself anymore. When I asked him about his daily habits, he shrugged and said, "At my age, doc, there's not much point. The damage is done." His test showed moderate cardiovascular decline, but nothing irreversible. What concerned me wasn't his heart function, it was his resignation. He had stopped believing in himself. So, I made him a simple offer. I said, "James, give me 4 weeks, not to transform yourself, but to feel a little better." He agreed. We started small, standing stretches every morning, light walking in the afternoon, and 5 minutes of guided breathing before bed. That was it. 1 month later, James returned to my office with brighter eyes and a stronger handshake. He said, "I never thought I'd feel this good again." His blood pressure had dropped, his sleep had improved, and most importantly, his belief in himself had returned. That belief changed everything. 9. The cost of doing nothing. Inactivity slowly steals your heart strength. Now let's talk about a more subtle danger, the cost of doing nothing. Often when people think about heart problems, they imagine moments of overexertion or sudden strain, like racing upstairs or lifting something too heavy. But for many older adults, the greatest threat to their heart doesn't come from doing too much, it comes from doing too little. As we age, we naturally slow down. After retirement, the structure of our days changes. We sit more, move less, and what feels like a deserved rest can quickly turn into sedentary living. And this stillness becomes a dangerous weight on your heart. Let me tell you about Henry, a 76-year-old widower who, after losing his wife, found himself sitting most of the day, watching TV and feeling isolated. He thought that since he wasn't in pain, nothing was wrong. But when he came to see me, he had unknowingly developed early-stage heart failure. His heart muscle had weakened, not because of an attack, but because it hadn't been used in months. Reversing inactivity, a simple yet powerful start. The human heart is like any other muscle. It needs to be challenged gently and regularly. Without that challenge, it starts to weaken. Movement isn't just beneficial for your heart, it's essential. You don't need to run marathons or push your body to extremes. Start small. For Henry, it began with short walks to the mailbox twice a day, then to the end of the block. Within 6 months, he was walking a mile each morning, greeting neighbors and feeling more connected to life. His blood pressure improved, his heart became stronger, and his energy returned. 10. Misusing gentle exercise, the risks of doing too much without proper guidance. Even gentle exercise like Tai Chi, yoga, or water aerobics can become risky if done improperly or without the proper guidance. These exercises are often recommended for seniors because they are low impact and easy on the joints, and they're great for maintaining cardiovascular health. But just like anything else, when done without awareness or understanding of the body's specific needs, they can turn harmful. I've seen this happen with many patients who come to me feeling discouraged after realizing that their gentle exercises weren't yielding the results they expected. One patient, Lorraine, a 71-year-old retiree, joined a senior yoga class. The instructor was well-meaning, but wasn't trained in working with older adults or understanding heart limitations. The class was slow and steady, but it included poses that involved breath holding, deep bending, and rapid transitions from standing to sitting. After several weeks, Lorraine began experiencing episodes of lightheadedness after class. One day, she almost fainted during a forward fold. At first, she thought it was dehydration or poor balance, but after coming to see me, we discovered that her blood pressure was fluctuating dramatically because of the postural shifts and breath holding during some of the poses. These movements were subtly straining her cardiovascular system more than she realized. The hidden dangers of even gentle exercises. As we age, our cardiovascular system becomes more sensitive to changes in position and oxygen delivery. Even something as simple as holding your breath during a stretch can trigger a vagal response, causing a sudden drop in blood pressure and heart rate. Similarly, transitioning too quickly between poses or rising too fast from the floor can disrupt the autonomic nervous system, leading to dizziness, palpitations, or even a fall. This doesn't mean you need to stop practicing these gentle exercises. It just means you need to do them thoughtfully and with guidance. The right instructor can make all the difference. Work with someone who understands aging physiology and heart limitations. Focus on breath awareness, gentle transitions, and support tools like blocks and chairs. Lorraine made these adjustments and felt better almost immediately. Her balance improved, her blood pressure stabilized, and she no longer felt at risk during her sessions. Listening to your body, the key to longevity. No matter what exercise you choose, the most important lesson is this: listen to your body. Your heart doesn't need intense workouts to stay healthy. It needs consistency, safety, and support. Whether it's walking, Tai Chi, or gentle stretching, these movements are about nourishing your heart, not pushing it to extremes. Your body still has incredible potential. It's not about trying to turn back time or being the strongest person in the room. It's about making choices that respect your body's needs and your heart's condition. If you're in your 60s or beyond, don't let anyone tell you that you're too old to change or to improve your health. The heart's resilience is astounding, and with the right mindset, gentle exercises, and thoughtful routines, you can still live fully and independently. Final thoughts: embracing the right exercise for your heart. The key to keeping your heart strong as you age is not pushing harder, but rather embracing a balanced and intentional approach to movement. Every small change you make in your routine, from adjusting your exercise timing to choosing gentler, more mindful activities, adds up over time and has a profound effect on your heart health. Remember, it's never too late to start. If you're feeling unsure about where to begin, start with a gentle walk, a few minutes of Tai Chi, or some chair yoga. The most important thing is to keep moving, consistently and safely. If you found these insights helpful, please share them with someone you care about. Encourage the seniors in your life to move with intention, to listen to their bodies, and to take care of their hearts. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to subscribe for more health tips tailored to older adults, and I look forward to supporting you on your heart health journey.